Shalom, giving all praises and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Chakodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and Shalom unto the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect that are destined to be saved. I am the brother Kalab from the GMS UK on the Forecasters Camp, coming back at you with another lesson to help edify those which I spoke of. So, this lesson is going to be on a story that I just saw come up on my news feed. As you can see on the screen, you've got Esau here. Who is Esau? Esau is the descendant of Abraham, Isaac. Yeah, he's the descendant of Abraham and Isaac. He's not of the chosen line. He was the twin brother of our forefather, who was Jacob, because the chosen line goes Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But Esau is the descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Now these Esau's descendants are known as biblically as the Edomites, and they are predominantly the white people on the face of this earth. And you can see the face of an Edomite on the screen here. And there's certain characteristics that apply to Esau in the scriptures, and we can see them playing out on the earth today, just as there's certain characteristics of Israelites that let us know who they are today. Traditionally, well, I say traditionally, but generally speaking, the way to identify the Israelites is that we're under the curses, many of the curses that are spoken of in the latter part of the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, right? And there's spiritual markers in all the nations in the earth. You know, the Most High put spiritual markers on all the people so we can know who they are. Just as there's markers on the Ammonites and the Moabites and, you know, the Ishmaelites and the Hamites, there's markers on all peoples, right? Now, one of the markers of these Edomites is that they do everything contrary to the scriptures, and they seem to thrive in all of the things that the Most High finds to be ungodly or unclean. So we've got this story here of this Edomite that's been going around desecrating graves and stealing body parts. And I believe they said he had a Facebook group where he might have been trading them people. Now, one of the reasons why these people will do that is because a lot of them are into witchcraft and they're active warlocks. And one of the things that these people do is necromancy, which is forbidden in the scriptures. But what these people will do is sometimes they'll take human skulls and use them in their necromancy rituals. And they also do things such as necrophilia, which is to have sex with dead corpses. Salakia, I know it's very unsavory, not the most pleasant thing to speak about, but this is the wickedness that takes place on the face of this earth, because at this point in time, at this moment in time, the Most High has given Esau space to rule. The book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24, tells us that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Let's read that. Job 9 and verse 24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who are the wicked? Malachi chapter 1 verses 1 to 4 tells us who the wicked are. And they are predominantly the Edomites of the face of this earth. They are known as the wicked. You know, the people against whom the Most High have indignation forever, right? So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who and where is he? See, the true judges of the earth are us Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, West Africans. Collectively, we are the Israelites, and we're supposed to be the true judges and rulers of this earth. Now, as I said, for a time, due to Esau's blessing, he's been given a portion of time where he can run free and perform all his wickedness on the earth. But when our Lord and Savior Yahushua returns and establishes his kingdom on the earth, which is going to be the kingdom of heaven, which isn't going to be some mythical place in the clouds, it's actually going to play out on the face of this earth right here. It's going to be a kingdom ruled by us Israelites. And we're going to have those new bodies which are going to be free of sin. So we're going to be able to live righteously and execute the laws of the Bible righteously to their full effect. You know, that's the future that's promised to us. So Esau's time to rule is short, but in his time to rule, he's being set as an example of how not to live on the earth. So let's play this news clip and see how Esau's moving.
Just when you think you've heard it all, this case out of Delaware County might make your stomach turn. Prosecutors are accusing a man of stealing dozens of sets of human remains. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Sheba Russell. Investigators say they found human skulls, mummified feet, and decomposing body parts at the suspect's home. Chris O'Connell has more on the story that is disturbing on so many levels.
Delaware County prosecutors say he was a real-life grave robber straight out of a horror movie. A man arrested for stealing human remains from graves, some as young as infants, others 200 years old.
Very simply, detectives walked into a horror movie come to life the other night.
Delaware County District Attorney Tanner Rouse outlining the twisted alleged crimes of 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach of Lancaster County. He's accused of stealing human remains from 26 mausoleums and underground graves at the historic Mount Moriah Cemetery in Yeadon. Some of the remains as young as infants.
Some of these are 200 years old, some of them obviously much newer. There's one that had a pacemaker still attached to the body.
Prosecutors say it was old-fashioned police work that cracked the case. After a series of grave desecrations at Mount Moriah, Yeadon police set up a sting. On Tuesday, Gerlach was arrested at the cemetery with a burlap bag full of 30 human remains, many of them children. But when police searched Gerlach's home in Ephrata, Lancaster County, they found more than 100 human skulls, large bones, and other skeletal remains, as well as jewelry taken from graves. 8 more skeletons were found in a nearby storage locker.
Detectives have recovered an awful lot of bones at this point, and we are still trying to piece together who they are, where they are from, and how many we are looking at, and it's going to be quite some time before we have a final answer.
Those who walked through the cemetery near Cobbs Creek Park recently noticed graves being desecrated. One guy tells us this mausoleum was repaired just after it was burglarized.
We saw some graves that had been obviously opened or disturbed. Kind of hoped it was just maintenance work and stuff, but always suspected that there might be some kind of, grave robbing, for lack of a better term.
Gerlach is charged with more than 450 counts on charges of burglary, abuse of corpse, and theft. Authorities are not clear what he was doing with the remains, but they are looking at a Facebook group devoted to the sale of human bones, where Gerlach was seen holding several skulls. The Delaware and Lancaster County medical examiners are now trying to date and identify all of the remains and possibly find affected families.
We all have loved ones that passed. Like, rest in peace is rest in peace. And this is definitely something that tears at your heartstrings.
Gerlach is being held in the Delaware County Jail on $1 million cash bail. Prosecutors say there's a very good chance he may have burglarized other local cemeteries. In Yeadon, Chris O'Connell, Fox 29 News.
Well, let me just check some of the comments here, see what people are saying. You've got to be insane to dig up dead bodies. Disgusting. That's an underestimation. He's a complete psycho. Unless he has a different belief system that nobody tells us about. Yeah, that would be the witchcraft that they're into, Let's read this newest. Might have been dealing with Satan. No other explanation unless it's a completely mentally ill individual. Necromancy. What a creepy guy. Nosring tells a story. Satan followers. Yeah, there you go. They're Satan worshippers. They're doing rituals with those remains. Yep. And they're occultists who terrorize people. Yep. Usual suspects. Yeah, it's Esau. Usually behind this shit, man. Some sort of satanic ritualistic purpose, perhaps. He may also have done it for witchcraft purposes or to sell to others who are into witchcraft. Yeah, this is it. That's exactly it. Let's get some scriptures. And Facebook lets him post his sick demonic shit. Right, so let's get these scriptures. This is Hebrews 6 and verse Slakia. Hebrews 12 and verse 16. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. So let's go into this word profane. Let's get in the blue letter. Blue letter. The word profane in the blue letter here is
Strong's G 952. Bebelos. Bebelos.
outline of biblical usage, accessible, lawful to be trodden, profane, unhallowed, common public place, men ungodly. So it says unhallowed, common public. So he's outside of what's holy. Let's get this. Esau's outside of all that's considered to be holy. Said characterized by irreverence or contempt of God or sacred principles or of things irreligious, not devoted by holy or religious purposes, unconsecrated, secular, unholy, heathen, pagan, not initiated into religious rites or mysteries as persons common or vulgar. Yeah, so that's what Esau is. He's profane, which means he's outside of all that the Most High considers to be sacred and holy, and he will do those things outside of what the Most High ordains to be, good, sacred, pure, and holy. This is Deuteronomy 18, verse 9. When thou art come into the land in which the Lord thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or daughter to pass through the fire, which means child sacrifice, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer, for all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord Yahweh, and because of these abominations the Lord Yahweh thy power doth drive them out from before thee. Yes, so we're not supposed to do after these odious works of witchcraft that these other nations were partakers in, including the nation of Edom. Now, this is just one low-level Edomite on the totem pole that's been taken and arrested here. But don't get it twisted. At the highest levels of Esau society, this type of witchcraft and necromancy and satanic worship takes place. It's just. Hang on a second. It's just that it's you're seeing a low-level Edomite on the totem pole get caught for it, but don't think that the elites aren't having their witches rituals taking place, because this shit happens every day, man. That's why at 3 a.m. in the morning it's considered to be the witching hour, because they say that's when the veil between, you know, the physical world and the spiritual realm is at its thinnest. And that's why a lot of these witches do their rituals at 3 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, this is the world we live in. Unfortunately, this is the world ruled by Esau, but this world is coming into an end. We're going to enter into a kingdom wherein dwelleth righteousness, which is, let me get that, close out on this one, where these things are going to be punished accordingly and not allowed to take place in the kingdom. Yeah, this is 2 Peter 3 and verse 13. Nevertheless, we according to his promise look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Yeah, that's the world that we're looking for. And Esau's world is going to be a thing of the past. And all this madness and demonic, wicked, you know, child sacrifice, necromancy, necrophilia, you know, satanic rituals, all these things are going to be a thing of the past when Yahushua returns and establishes the kingdom of heaven on this earth. All right. So, Lord, that's been an edifying quick hit with that. Once again, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of great millstone that rule well. And shalom unto the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect that are destined to be saved. And I'll catch you on the next lesson, Lord, and shalom for now.